Promise you goals, we certainly got it in spades in the first 45. Harvey Barnes scoring his 7th league goal of the season to give Leicester the lead, but just 127 seconds later, Stuart Dallas equalised. And did I mention we had 2 disallowed goals as well? Joe, next.
This broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by Malaysia's e-government service provider. Wonder Coffee tastes like just brew. And Korea Advisor. Awesome courses, awesome careers.
Begitu.
Kenapa dia?
Tak apa. Okay.
Shopping made easy. This broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by Malaysia's e-government service provider. Wonder Coffee tastes like just brew. And Korea Advisor. Awesome courses, awesome careers.
Entertaining. That's the best word to describe Leicester Leeds United. 2 goals scored, 2 goals disallowed. And when Leicester took the lead for 127 seconds, they were 2nd in the Premier League, overtaking Manchester United. After Leeds equalised, they went back into 3rd. It's all to play for in the second half. Robert Hoop and Paul Robertson are here to join me to talk about the game. And I have to say that this is one match which has lived up to the hype, gentlemen, just for the sheer entertainment value. Let's get into it, because 13th minute, inside the opening quarter of an hour, more bad defending from Leeds, Robbo, allowing Leicester to take the lead.
Yeah, we spoke at length before the game about Leeds' defensive frailties and their problems, and this just highlights. I mean, Harvey Barnes picks up the ball, he's inside his own half at the halfway line. Luke Daly tries to track him all the way, and then you see Cooper come out of the defence, try and step in and make a challenge. First of all, it's a sloppy long ball across the field, but then he's here, he's half a length of the pitch away from the goal. Aylin tracks him without making an effort. Cooper goes in there, I don't know what he's doing, but then Cooper and Aylin come together and they still have a chance to put a tackle in. Nobody puts a tackle in, nobody gets near him, and that's why Leeds are conceding so many goals. You just cannot defend like that in the Premier League. Nobody goes near him. He's run half a length of the field. He's in the penalty box taking a shot at goal, and still nobody's put a tackle in. The defender from Leeds was awful.
What does the defender have to say about that? Hoopy?
Yeah, but I mean, you watch it and you think, well, someone's got to make a tackle. And Barnes keeps running with the ball, you think, well, now he's got to make a tackle. And for some reason, Aiden doesn't come into anything. He just runs alongside him, they play 1-2, and by the end of it, doesn't even attempt to block the ball. Also, you're allowed to make a foul. You know, can you break someone? Can you give a foul? Can you break up play? You know, so we move after that. But yeah, not ready for it. But yeah, we know it before.
I have to give a mention to Harvey Barnes as well. Yes, there is no Jamie Vardy, but Barnes has really stepped up this season. 2nd top scorer for the Foxes. That's his 11th in all the competitions, his 7th just in the league. Madison involved in the goal there with the assist, but he got the pre-assist for the equaliser. Disappointing to lose the lead after such a short amount of time. And Ayling redeeming himself as well, I should know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just, been criticising him for what he's done there, but equally, he was important for the Leeds goal. You know, he recognised the situation. lots of space for him to run in. He never panics, he looks up, he's waiting on the players to make a run for him, and he makes a nice pass back for him, he slots for him. Brought that as sort, and that was really excellent play. Like we said, it's the good and the bad. Literally within 3 minutes of the top.
You must be tearing your hair out right now, Robert, to be honest. You're conceding soft goals, but equalising and attacking in strong measure as well.
It's been the story of their season. I mean, you've seen Leeds United be good about in the first half. But I think they did really well in the first half. I think they've created more chances than last time. That's just Michael coming in from outstanding. He's made one really good save low down to his left. I think Leeds have been good going forward. Yes, they have got defensive priorities. They're not going to be cured overnight. They're not going to suddenly go out and training down this week. But the players aren't going to be coming back to world-class defenders. We know that they can be got at. We know that they can concede goals. But going forward, I think they'll be a bigger threat. I think they're surprised Leicester today.
There were 2 additional goals left that disallowed, one apiece as well. Could easily have been 2-2 at the break, but correct decisions in both cases, Houthi, because offside is clear and obvious.
Yeah, for sure. Harris here just half a metre offside. He's doing the right thing, following up on the shot, but yeah, rightly given offside. I just feel like he needs a goal for his confidence. He's been average. I thought in the first half looks a little bit lightweight. So hopefully he can get that goal and get his confidence back. But wasn't to be in this occasion.
Yeah, we can see here no lines needed to be drawn out to have a lengthy VAR review. But this one, Robert, that initial save from Schmeichel was very close to goal, not quite point blank, but still he needed to make it. And then after that follow-up was offside.
Well, it's a fantastic save. First of all, it's a great header by Patrick Bamford, but that's what that's already the same by Casper Schmeichel. And then quite rightly, pitches it away, it's in front of him, and he's flagged for offside. But then, you got to argue, if he made that save, the player wasn't into his knee, wasn't his eye line, wasn't his way, didn't prevent him making a save. So he's made that save, and he wasn't, obstructing the goalkeeper, but by the length of the ball, he was in a position where he was offside, and he benefited from, the goal coming back on the crossbar. It was a fantastic save by Michael in the first place. And, he was right to be given offside, so the VAR's got to get 2 decisions correct today.
Offside has been very contentious this season. There's already a slight amendment in the rules earlier this week after what happened in Manchester City Villa. There were some chances as well for either side. Firstly, predominantly from Leeds United. Were you surprised by this? At times, Leicester really well on the back foot.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds are doing what Leicester had to do in the first minute of the season to them. They get the ball and break it quickly. Completely opposite to what we know of Leeds. They'd be good. If it wasn't for Casper Schmeichel, they'd be nearly at half time. But not surprised. They've got some good players out there. They're offside, which is quick and sharp, entertaining. So not surprised they have these chances, but just if it's not being a chance, that's the back as well. Even the space, but it's best for us.
As game progresses, the clock ticked ever so closely to half-time. It seemed like Leicester were going more into the game, creating chances of their own, Robbo. So perhaps Leeds need to go back to how they started the game as opposed to how they finished it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic save by Elliot there. It's up for Casper Schmeichel. That was Perez just getting in. The goalkeeper spread himself, made himself big, made a really good save. That one that we saw from Casper Schmeichel again from Rafinha, I can't tell you how good a save that was. Rafinha's caught that so hard with his right foot, just low down to the goalkeeper's left. Such a strong wrist and a fantastic save by Schmeichel. But yeah, Leeds won't be disappointed with the way things are going. Yes, they're probably going to expect to concede goals, especially the way that Leicester are playing with a strong side, a difficult side to play against. I think the Leeds manager will definitely be happy with 2 managers at half time.
Alright, well, Houthi, is it just me, or is Robert going full on keepers union today?
You know what they like, the keepers, they like to stick together, don't they? They're unbreakable at times.
They do, they certainly do. Gents, we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, let's hope that the goals continue to flow in the next 45. We also try to slot in one more talking point ahead of kickoff at the King Power. We'll be right back.
the coffee shot, double the boost. Hari ceria, sarapan sedap, siap sedia untuk bekerja. Putar kunci, minum enjin, harus sedar nama tempoh juga jalan. Tidak lagi dengan MyEG, transaksi pintar hanya di hujung jari. Hanya login, tekan maklumat yang diperlukan, buat pembayaran dan penghantaran yang cepat akan sampai di depan rumah anda. Dengan MyEG, cukai jalan dan insurans motosikal boleh dibereskan di mana jua anda berada. Tunggu lagi, MyEG lah.
So despite my best efforts, I then have to just look elsewhere and just go to the best team. He was still good for me on that night. He rose to the occasion, a big performer, and he just went through a scenario, emotional, I suppose, but just the most unbelievable. The last two matches, Brendan Rodgers, Jurgen Klopp have had unbelievable teams, and I think if I had to pick, it would be this current team. Man of the street, the episode coming soon. Michael Owen. Very few players claim to have just exploded onto the footballing scene at the age of 17, quite the way he did, and he talks us through his career in a very enthralling episode. Now let's talk about Timothy Castagne. At times in the game, he looked a little bit casual. There was one incident where the ball seemed to just roll off his foot into touch for a throw-in for Leeds United. He was subbed off. He did not go straight down the tunnel like Pereira came on for him there. We just saw him going to the bench from a distance. That's all we could tell. What did you make of it? Was it a tactical switch or was it an injury?
Well, we get different reports over here in the UK. Some say he came up with a groin injury, but certainly it was a bit sloppy in the first half. Maybe he's just starting to feel the workload over the last couple of weeks and months, where it's that position where it's so physically demanding to play on the wing, going up and down. Today he just looked a little bit off it. But if it was tactical, I don't think anything's changed from Leicester's point of view at all. The area is just a like for like.
Yeah, that's what I meant right there. You could see Ricardo just about coming on in there.
Yeah.
You could see Castagne heading to the bench. But someone like Ricardo to come on, Robbie, he hasn't started a match in the league for about 11 months because of an injury, which then reoccurred when he made his comeback. So when he's on song, when he's back to fitness, he's a major asset for Leicester.
Yeah, it proved prior to his injury, he's outstanding, wasn't he? He's one of the top right backs in the league back before he got injured. But these things happen. The injury took a bit longer, and for him to get back now, it's the game time, and that could just be the break today, where someone's misfortune is his fortune. And but yeah, when he's on game, he's a great attacking threat as well for Leicester.
Well, that's an enforced change. What about for Leeds United? Rodrigo, he had to go off. That was certainly for an injury, not a tactical issue. Rob, does that change anything for you? Because they've got quite a few ill-minded players there.
Yeah, well, he's left up to the last few weeks. His performances haven't been what we expected to be. So he's changed personality. This is rotation. And Drew not playing particularly well. So this again is an opportunity to come back to the team to show the manager what he can do. Rodrigo and Rafinha have been personally done the team sheet. They've been first picks at the moment. And Klitsch hasn't been playing along the last 2 or 3 games. So this is his opportunity now to come back into the team. Come back and still sit in that centre midfield with Dallas.
Kenapa? Mana dia dah malam-malam ni.
First half, maybe play back 3, push was their own as to win back. Attack minded in the second half. Leicester have got it back 3.
Dito naman lang eh.
With Evans to injure and the minus. And it looks like it's going to be back 3.
Ay, bu. Kan beli dah beli dah. Ada mana stop dulu. Tanya kuih ibu dia di kuih yang ibu. Dah, mana buat tahu kat mana? Kuih yang ibu di.
Support the opposition in more than half of the second halves of games that they play. They need to do exactly that again here. Which some halves they've been second best so far. It's Alioski. Not so much back three as a back 5 for Leicester in the exchanges in this second period.
Well, as I say, it's because of the fact that Rafinha's going high, Click is pretty much up there in the centre forwards position with Bamford at times, and of course you've got Harrison on the other side. And also, Jim, that Leeds are trying to stretch with the two wingers. They're trying to stretch Leicester, and I think it may help in that regard too, with a wider spread defensively for the Foxes.
Alioski with the ball forward, those claim of offside against Bamford. It continues. Fofana.
I think ultimately he realises when you face Leeds United, you're basically dealing with a very hard work rate, and you have to be able to match that. You have to be able to match that man for man throughout your team. And there were times in the first half when Leicester weren't. They weren't coping.
Helping around the corner here for Barnes, who can turn neatly. Fantastic quick to make his way forward into support for it. From Tielemans again, that's a good ball. Promising position this. Leeds with the bodies back, it is Stroud. Much to Justin's frustration, it's only a corner.
When you look immediately, look at the two wing-backs in their positions. I mean, that's Ricardo Pereira getting on it now. And look at James Justin just to the right. And he should have hit that earlier for me. In delaying it, he's allowed Cooper to have a go, but it was Stroud who actually got in the way, and Meslier was already on his way to try and make a save. In fact, Cooper may well have gotten there before Stroud.
It's along the deck for Perez's run, and they will do it all again. I think you're anticipating what was coming.
That's not an apology, by the way. That's obviously a sign of what they've worked on the training ground. Who's moving where?
3 centre halves all making differing runs into that general area. And a couple of important Leeds touches clear their lines. Now, Chris Kavanagh has just asked for restart of play to be halted. Mike Dean is the VAR. And he is just having a look at something that happened inside the penalty area. You see, Cooper's got more than a pull of his shirt on Fofana there.
Yeah, it just often when you do that, it depends when you let go. I think he probably held on a little too long. And, you know, I've seen 1 or 2 of those given, and it could go against Leeds. Because as soon as you grab a shirt, then you're basically causing yourself a problem. But he's escaped it on this occasion.
No real discernible complaints either from the Leicester City man. Back from Tielemans though. Barnes. Resisting the temptation to let fly from distance. Meslier patrolling his penalty area effectively, but such was his haste to get the ball forward, put pressure on Rafinha, who did well to react and aside a throw.
No, in terms of the immediacy, though, I think Brendan Rodgers will be very pleased because Ricardo Pereira and James Justin have been prominent in the early stages of this second half. And now you want the likes of Maddison and Barnes and indeed Perez to benefit from that.
Clever touch from Tielemans, who scored a couple of goals the last time these two met. Back from Fafana. This one for the runner by Jose Perez. The nature of the way that Jamie Vardy plays, he is always on the shoulder looking for space, and as a result doesn't actually have that many touches within the course of a game. But Perez is a different type of player, so haven't really been able to get him involved so far.
No, and we should stress the fact that Leicester are missing that instinct because, Vardy has that relationship with some of his teammates where he just knows where it's going and where he's going to make his run.
Hello.
Injury problem here.
Yeah.
Berapa?
It's the
Berapa tim dia kiri?
Mana?
Kan ibu mana apa tahu?
There's a nasty gash over his eye.
he certainly doesn't seem to be faced by it at all.
Well, I don't think he's even thinking about making way.
Talking about the fact that Jose Perez hasn't really been able to get involved. Ailing, on the other hand, has had more touches than anybody else in the game. But at the moment, while the blood is being cleaned up and they try and stem the flow and sort that gash out, Leeds United temporarily down to 10. Fafana loves to step up from that defensive line and as part of the back three will be given that little bit more license to do that. Here is Perez. Tielemans. Soju. He can just drop Rafinha in the right back to cover for the Amsterdam who's being bandaged up now. Play goes on and almost broke for Pereira. And there he off his line quickly enough.
But just look again, the two wing backs were both in the penalty box.
Well, Meslier was waiting for the signal to come back on there. Meslier saw him, and Ailing hadn't been given the permission, so couldn't walk onto the field to receive the pass that Meslier had played him.
Yeah, it wasn't really wise of the goalkeeper in the first place.
That is a point that is just being made to him now by Liam Cooper. They're down to 10 men. There's absolutely no hurry to restart play in that situation. Meslier and Co will have more work to do as Cooper concedes a free kick.
Yeah, but you're now seeing a much more assertive Leicester City. And Brendan Rodgers, I'm sure, would have had a few words at half time, along with the change he's made. And we're seeing a more commanding performance.
Madison again, giving the signal to his teammates what they can expect. Panther with the initial defensive header. Can't set up a Barnes as he wanted it to. Mendy working it back. Madison to Justin, and he's having to go all the way back to Schmeichel. Sochi inside the turn. Again from Schmeichel, Tielemans. Turning it round the corner. No foul on Ricardo Pereira. Needs to bring it forward. Mendy, everything he could to impede Click's progress.
first run of Ailey. Soinchu had gone with it. Justin keeping it in has actually kept it alive for Leeds United here. And from Stroud, Phillips. And Shuey's rivals theirs.
Yeah, just kind of with the outside of his right foot that Phillips was always going to make his way towards the game.
Perez. Had a Cooper. Find a
Jom
way
kita
past
ni.
it.
Yeah, I think Leeds are still adjusting to the Leicester City changes.
Comes from Evans.
We were wondering, weren't we, whether the possession would get away from Leicester City in this game, and the second half, that's a big no. We're having it back.
Well, you made the point, though, Jim, that they have a better record in games where they've had less of the ball this season.
Their conversion rate is right up there in terms of the top.
Dia makan.
Yeah, they've got 7 out of 8 when their possessions in the minority, only 5 out of 12 when they've been the dominant team. But Leeds must today with the amount of headaches that Leeds were causing them, particularly in the last 20 minutes of that first half. Product of the tactical change that has been made, that they're now seeing more of the ball. Perez dropping deeper. That's a neat turn by Pereira.
Yeah, well, you're seeing a difference. I mean, in terms of Brendan Rodgers and the change he's made, then it looks as if he's got it spot on. And this is only skill. He's got a little more in his feet than just being a fullback, Ricardo Pereira. He just back in position again now. He's very much part of a rear 5 once more.
Dia nak komen kat situ.
You know, and Leeds can't get out. Leeds can't keep it at the moment and get up the pitch.
Thought it goes from Stroud. It's early forward. On the Dutchman. There's a Paris player that he caught.
Kami nak abang tahu ke? Macam mana?
Yeah, one of the referee's easier decisions.
Madison not taking charge of this one. It's Soinchu that will. Madison amongst the targets towards the edge of the penalty area. Seems caught in 2 minds at the moment about where it should go. And the answer was not there.
Well, he's obviously still got a little bit of rust attached. I mean, I know he played at Brentford last week, as did Ricardo Pereira. The FA Cup has given Brendan Rodgers a chance to rotate a little bit more and get those on the way back up to speed.
Leicester dominated the chances now. The 10 that they've had have been on target. It's an area where Leicester have excelled this season, their ability to be able to take their chances, the opportunities they create tend to be good ones. Almost 1 out of every 6 has ended in a goal. It's the best ratio in the league.
Well, whatever happens to Leicester from here, don't be surprised if one of the wing backs ends up either managing an assist or scoring.
United haven't really been able to see too much of the Leicester penalty area at the start of this second half. This latest move breaks down as Bamford gives a free kick away.
No, I think it was Chris Kavanagh. He put in the way, the referee, the ball hit him, so he's obliged, isn't he, to stop it.
Evans ball.
Paris had a more central area for a moment now. Ailing can bring it forward. Reflection on the shot. Ailing is in there again. Cliff can get the follow-up. I mean, wearing white like that, with that kind of headband, it looks like England rugby. As the Six Nations lose. Defending that by Harrison. Click. Then the shadowing is every move. Tielemans there, just poking forward now for Madison. Marks. Perez for Tielemans, let him fly. Again, comfortable for Bellier. Yeah, but I always like to see that. I like to see players taking a chance outside the box, because if there's a wall of defenders in front of you and you find a bit of space, then why not? It's a murky afternoon in the East Midlands, but floodlights have just come on. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with our eyes.
Mati budak Margo.
Apa benar itu bukan?
Chris Kavanagh shows the yellow card. A relatively easy decision as Ricardo Pereira made his way forward and was unsubtly tripped. Not malicious, but cynical. Dallas gets his fourth yellow card of the season. There's no result on that. He's had the chance to go pretty much through his full repertoire of set pieces from distance. Swinging it in again on the top of the head of Stroud. Cooper under pressure, more than happy to buy the free kick as soon as he felt the hand from Fofana. Yeah, Fofana just he bit, didn't he? The carrot was dangled and he couldn't resist.
Yang sambung tu.
Nah dah gitu tu. Ini air gitu tu. Dah masak nah sekarang. Dah masak apa?
Sambung.
Kecil tak lagi? Kecil tak lagi? Dia kecil. Ini air dia kecil. Sudah.
Situation to be able to string that kind of run together, but frustrations will be if they can't. Yeah, they were terrific in that opening half of the 1920 season, and then of course they fell away. Brendan Rodgers now needs this team to show stamina, to show it's got some steel. And obviously winning this would be perfect in terms of keeping title interest.
Masuk Omlet ni. Cucuk lah kecil.
Ailing instructing Cliff not to take the throw quickly. Instead the Londoner will make his way forward. Feeding back for Luke Ailing again. He's now fouled by James Justin. For a hugely interesting climax if Leeds United can get their noses in front here for the first time of the game with 25 minutes to go. Senior, the man charged with getting the delivery right. Just too much on it. Comfortably claimed by Schmeichel. Yeah, nearly every team in the Premier League likes to keep a high line when defending free kicks like that. Apart from Everton, Ancelotti has the opposite in place. I was at Goodison yesterday and they just drop right in on top of the keeper. Quite the reverse tactic to the
current vote for a defensive line, which is higher than it's ever been, with Manchester City exponents of keeping as high a line as possible often. Only about 10 yards from where the free kick is going to be taken. 20 yards outside the penalty area at times.
Yeah, well, Pep, I think, took it to extremes, didn't he, when we first saw that?
Evans there ahead of Clint. Phillips.
Yeah, they found their feet, second half leads. That's another one for Cooper.
Bailey. Thinking they made the run that he was expecting. Possession is surrendered cheaply. Border on the torrid spell that Leeds were enduring in the opening 10 minutes of this second half, but the subsequent 10 have certainly been much better for them. Restricting the number of opportunities that Leicester have been able to create. Back from Amin. Harrison, the player that had lost out an opportunity for Leicester to try and bring it forward. Perez initially beating Stroud, couldn't find a way past his first and a half Cooper. Bamford coming to meet it. Get the flick past Soinchu. Tielemans. Evans with a head start in the foot race against Rafinha.
Yeah, it was quite a clever ball actually from Dallas, just to knock it over the top and turn the Leicester defence and try to get Rafinha away.
A little shot from Perez right in front of the referee gives Stroud and Leeds a free kick. As we go to the final quarter of the game.
I just wonder whether Brendan Rodgers now feels that Perez is still being effective. Is he causing enough trouble, or does he need to have a look at Ian Atcho and think, might get a little more from him?
Perez battling here, but beaten. Brendan Rodgers has made no secret of his desire to sign another attacking midfielder. He's still hoping a deal can be struck to bring somebody in before tomorrow's deadline. It's Dennis Pratt's injury that was on the cards quickly became a non-starter because of the Danes' wages, but with 30 hours or so to go, they are still hopeful that somebody will come in.
Taking De Bruyne's out of bounds.
I think he's turned his phone off. Somebody like that would do, though.
Yeah, would do a lot. Yeah, I mean, this now becomes a, for both a big game to win and a horrible one to lose.
Rafinha and Soinchu played Bamford onside, and that is a magnificent finish from Patrick Bamford. Leeds United lead for the first time with 20 minutes to go, and what a significant goal that could be in Leicester City season.
Well, I'm thinking in the end, I mean, it doesn't matter, how it comes about, because it's from the Leicester throw-in, and they never quite managed to get it clear. Leicester City, I mean, Leeds were quick to everything, and once he is fed by Rafinha, I'm thinking he's going to look to centre it for Click. What a goal! he's managed to produce from it though. Obviously on his favoured left side, and he thought, well look, I don't need to take a touch and fiddle about here. I'm just going to see if I can find the top corner across Michael, and boy has he. What a finish.
Little kiss off the underside of the bar, the 99th goal of his career. And Leeds United, who haven't taken a top 6 scalp all season, are 20 minutes away.
Maybe Brendan Rodgers now have got to think about, a striking change and get something more incisive going.
Well, it's a big 20 minutes for Leicester City now. A side that have already suffered 4 home defeats this season, including one against relegation-threatened Fulham. It's their home form that is threatening to puncture a title challenge. Leicester City took the lead early in the game. Leeds' reply was immediate. The Foxes looking for something similar here to get themselves back on level terms. Jackie Sunda is being readied on the Foxes bench. Ready to turn this round. We'll see the Foxes slip 5 points behind Manchester City, having played an extra game. Barnes wins the free kick. Chance for Brendan Rodgers. Trying to get themselves back on level terms from this.
Yeah, and Madison now needs just the perfect little drop-in area as there prepares to enter the fray.
Swept in by Madison, not with the height that he wanted. Initial defensive header. Straight into the back of Dallas, but Yoski could get it away in the second time of asking. Tielemans. Oh, he's done well, good feet. The Belgian will bring him forward. Barnes. Intercepted by Click. Mendy then caught by him. And that's a yellow card.
To be honest, I thought Click was going to actually pull out of that challenge. I'm thinking you're never going to get there. And he just had that little prod to land on Mendy's foot. Again, I don't think any real damage has been done.
That's a 5th yellow for Mateusz Klich. Past the point of the Premier League season where you get banned for 5 yellows. So Leicester City needing some inspiration, and relatively quickly as well. Madison bending it in, good ball around the back, it might fall here for Fofana, and the deflection was all important. Nothing more than a corner.
Too easy. I mean, you can see the way he's shaping Madison where he's going to play it. And Phillips didn't read it and allowed Perez to get round the back. But again, really good defending from Cooper, setting the example, going to the danger and getting a block on it.
Another Leicester corner, Soichu! And the two converging on it, contrived to miss.
Well, I'm finding it hard to digest that one because I'm thinking, here you go again, Leeds weak on a set piece. Soichu's done well to free himself from Strauch, and I'm thinking one of them's going to get there. And then, of course, we saw the attempt at a diving header from Perez, but Johnny Evans will be wondering how he did not steer this inside. Maybe he thought Perez was going to get there, I don't know.
Familiar Leeds United Achilles heel, losing first contact and being done by second contact inside the penalty area from set pieces, and very nearly cost him again. Perez with a shot here, but Melier tipped wide. Good response from Leicester as Leeds just about hang in there.
Yeah, it's basically what Leicester had to produce, and Leeds are struggling really under the pressure that Leicester are applying now. That's another fine stop from Meslier.
Corner count up to 5. Leeds still with this one any more effectively. More pace on it. Meslier electing to punch it clear in from Mendy. And the goalkeeper gathered at the second attempt.
Yeah, and Evans trying to be the striker, thinking he was going to spill away from Meslier, and he was ready on the follow-up. But, not the easiest to get those right. He went at it gently, didn't he, Mendy?
Well, it would have been a collector's item. He's only scored once in 292 career games. Ravi's Mendy.
Well, Leicester City have a very good record as well, Jim, of scoring in the last 15 minutes of games. And they look set on doing that now. They need it.
Yeah, more goals from this point than any other team in the division, 12 in all. Looks of consternation on the faces of Brendan Rodgers and his coach Chris Davis. Give us a better remarks. Playing into the partner's click. Here's Amin.
Yeah, that doesn't help. And Rafinha wasn't as precise as he'd like to have been then. Now he's just afforded Leicester a chance to get on the front foot again. Good work from Harrison.
Kept himself between the ball and Fofana. By the Frenchman. Leeds United a chance to take the sting out of the situation.
And I guess that's the weakness we've seen from Leeds throughout the season, even though it's been very exciting. They need to manage situations like this better. And I'm sure Bielsa's had a word or two to them about that at times.
But it isn't in his nature to instruct a side just to try and sit back and soak it up. Think back to the win that they had at Everton, where they were 1-0 up late in the game and they were still trying to defend by attacking, keeping the ball in the opposition half, because he felt that was the safest way of being able to do it. And they're going to bring another attack-minded player on here in Elder Costa.
Yeah, Rafinha seems to have developed a problem. Under is still awaiting introduction. Well, Rafinha set up the winner for Harrison at Newcastle, and he's done likewise here. Although when he feeds Bamford here, I don't think even he is expecting this. Wow, what a finish. The assist tends to kind of fade away a little bit when you see the quality of that finding the net.
Player who famously had only ever scored one Premier League goal prior to this season on the books of 4 different clubs, but he's now got 11 in 20 games in the Premier League this term for a newly promoted side, and 8 in 11 away games.
I had my doubts about him at this level, but isn't it great that somebody can prove you wrong, or prove a lot of people wrong in his case?
So Elder Costa for Rafinha is the Leeds United change. He's pretty featured too much. Elder Costa has only played in one of the last 7 Premier League games, and Cengiz is on, and Wesley Fofana is the player that has gone off. So Leicester have gone back to a back 4.
Yeah, I think probably irritated by the fact that Fofana was giving away unnecessary fouls at times, and hence his departure. Under, as he tends to do, will play from the right.
Chris Kavanagh initially pointed for a goal kick. He changed his mind. Going to the final 10 minutes with a Leeds United corner.
Yeah, correct decision.
asking the questions, but can't find that equaliser yet. They've got defending to do here. And defending that they've only just been able to pull off. Chaos in front of Schmeichel. VAR, Mike Dean again is just analysing exactly what it hit, where. He's so happy that everything was legitimate. It's Harrison. Ricardo. A strong run from him. And a good enough challenge on him. Phillips digging it clear. He's headed on the best. He's kept it in though, and then Tielemans has given the free kick away, catching Alioski.
Yeah, Alioski just got his body in the way so he could receive the contact. But I think Stroud felt for a moment or two as well that he might just get on the end of this. And Leicester didn't deal with it, but Pereira did enough. Yeah, just with the stud to take it away from Pascal Stroud.
The merest hit of a flick, but one that has kept Leicester City in this game. So the goal was a formality. And Ricardo not got to it. Tielemans. Putting it out, no foul, it will be a throw. Harris. Phillips. Held across there was a very rusty touch.
No, and do Leeds need to overplay in areas like that? They don't.
Justin. Forced away by Costa, who's fouled him.
Bielsa is absolutely furious at that from Helder Costa. That's not what he was introduced for. And Alioski defending this set piece in the right back position.
Just trying to keep an eye on Harvey Barnes, who has slipped down the left-hand side of the box. Both the centre halves, Evans and Sonchu, they're lurking with intent around the edge of the box. James Justin makes his way forward now as well. Madison inevitably with the delivery. Off ahead of Stroud. Just straight from Dallas, good ball as well. Click, poking it forward, and Patrick Bamford is in here. This the ceiling surely for Leeds United. Rolls it square. Harrison makes it 3. And Leeds 2 minutes away from a big, big win. Leicester City capitulating as they chase the game. And they are having an afternoon to forget in their title race.
It's from their own free kick, just outside the Leeds United. Stroud got his head on it, and they were up. This was the important move that Dallas just managed to kind of keep it alive and find a teammate, and then click.
Bielsa delighted. Look at the reaction from him. Harrison scoring for a second successive game. Bamford heavily involved with a goal and 2 assists.
Helder Costa might be spoken to a little more gently, having given that free kick away, by the way.
All of a sudden became a very good concession, didn't it?
It did.
Not a good concession from a Leicester point of view. Beaten here this season by West Ham and Villa, by Fulham and Everton. Now seemingly, with 5 minutes to go, by Leeds United as well.
I mean, Leicester abandoned that element of caution that you need. Even though you're chasing the game and you have a free kick in the final third, you still got to retain an organisation defensively, and they lost that.
Perez finding Barnes.
we're talking about Leicester and the fact that they have a good conversion rate, Leeds have had 2 chances second half, 2 goals. That's a tidy conversion rate too.
Will be a third away within 4, providing they can hold on. It's just been one of those afternoons for Leicester.
Well, facing now, it looks very much like it's going to happen, a 5th home defeat.
Incidentally, from 11 games, more than they had in the whole of last season.
This is away win for Leeds United. Yeah, but Leeds did well to survive what was thrown at them earlier in the second half. And then they did a couple of good saves from Elliot and some very good defending at times too. Maybe Leicester had themselves to blame on 1 or 2 others, the fact that they didn't find the finish that they should.
For him to consider games coming up. But Fulham and Wolves, 2 sides in the bottom 7.
You start thinking of Jamie Vardy. You know, we're looking at Jose Perez. I remember Vardy back in early November and all the trouble he caused Leeds in a 4-1 win at Elland Road.
They're making his way forward, trying to make something happen, but it's a move that quickly fizzled out. Harrison's foul by Ricardo.
Yeah, they look like a beaten team now, Leicester. When that 3rd goal went in for Leeds, I think they've quickly become demoralised. Well, highs and lows this season, but this will be up there with the highs for Marcelo Bielsa.
In which Yorkshire opposition have certainly had a thing to say in the title race, with Sheffield United's win at Old Trafford and now a Leeds United win to stop Leicester going second.
Yeah, the lead skipper Cooper again there is intercepted, but he's been excellent.
Here's Under. And there was to be a way back, they needed that to go in.
Well, I'm tempted to say over for Under. And I apologise immediately too.
Well, he just scored goal number 99. Goal number 100 would have been on the cards for Patrick Bamford, but it was the selfless play, really the end of the move that set up the goal for Harrison, but it came after some excellent, intricate play before that.
Yeah, well, it's box to box from Bamford, because I think once the ball broke in Leeds' favour, you know, he immediately smelled the chance that I might be able to get on the end of this. But I just love his teamwork at the end to slip in Harrison. The right thing. What a challenge that was from Cooper as well on Perez.
Kind of rumbustious contribution on which he's built his career, but he has, as you say, Jim, had another fine afternoon.
Yeah, he's led. You know, that's what you want from your skipper. And I mean, as challenges go, they don't come much stronger than that. And I think Perez will be thinking, what's just hit me then?
Madison. Yeah, very grateful to be able to pounce on the ball.
midfield slot with Dallas as a left back as well, which has been a change we've seen within games this season as well. Some games they continually change positions from midfield to left back.
Perez, and it's Cooper there yet again. As a player who at the start of his career made a couple of Premier League appearances for Hull, and he must have thought that his place in the elite would never come after that. 10 years he waited. And it's to his credit, Luke Ayling, who's had a similar career progression as well, but they've been able to adapt to life in the Premier League as effectively as they have.
Bamford is limping heavily at the moment.
Sointu the ball in.
The desire has faded. I mean, there was nobody really attacking that. Leicester were pretty much on their heels then.
A season of the unexpected and unpredictable serves up another eye-catching result. Another protagonist losing ground in this thrilling title race. Leicester did have the early advantage, but for only 2 minutes, given to them by Harvey Barnes. But Patrick Bamford scored one and set up the other two as Leeds claimed a famous victory. The ability to keep advantages has been one of the hallmarks of Leicester's season. Holding Leeds, a different matter entirely. It's finished. Leicester 1, Leeds 3.
Many thanks there to Jim Bradford and Jim Beglin at the King Power Stadium on their 6th attempt. Leeds have finally beaten Leicester. And how does this look like on the table? The most important aspect of winning a Premier League match? Well, we can see here Leicester now sit in third. They could have gone into second. They could have overtaken Manchester United for themselves to put more pressure on Manchester City to narrow the gap, but it's not meant to be. As for Leeds United, now they're in 12th position, level on points with Southampton, who not too long ago were top of the table. That's how fast things can change in this division. That's why we also love it. We have a lot more to discuss. We've got Robert Booth and also Paul Roberts to join us next, plus our coverage of the West Ham Liverpool game will be coming up late on as well. Back in just a moment. enjoy tonight. Spurs and action much later on, but our next featured game kicking off in 35 minutes or so is at the London Stadium. It's West Ham right in the crest of the wave in the Premier League table, and some decent results hosting the incumbent champions Liverpool, who rediscovered their mojo at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium just a few days ago. Our build-up will commence in just a moment. Let's focus our game here, though. So, bringing back into this debate that we're going to have here for Robinson and also Robert Hoth. Gentlemen, time is not on our side, so I want to get straight into it. Let's look back at the first half goals. It was ding-dong start, 127 seconds in between the opener and the equaliser. And Robert, we saw the best of Leeds and also the worst of Leeds.
We did, yes, exactly. Inside his own half, and Luke Haley tracks him all the way. Cooper comes out, nobody puts a tackle on him. He ends up 3 or 4 yards inside the lead box, and nobody's laid a glove on him, nobody's touched him. Let's not take away, it's a fantastic goal though from Leicester's point of view. The combination between him and Maddison was outstanding.
It is. Here's the equaliser. Haley redeeming himself after being unable to stop the opening goal. Well worked, Hoofy.
Yeah, indeed. For all the criticism we gave him for Leicester's goal, I think he done well there, reading the situation, reading the counter-attack. Picked a nice ball to Bamford, and Bamford obviously stopped Stallison, and that's it. But yeah, having said Leeds defender was second half for the criticism we gave him.
You know, I'm thinking back on our pre-show, and I remember we were talking about Bamford. We didn't spend very long mentioning his name, Robert, but you were questioning his ability to get goals. He hadn't scored in 4 league matches. But what a way to break that stat today with the second goal to give Leeds the lead.
It's a sensational strike, and this is from a striker who's not in form, who's not been playing well. That's just quite right to say he's not scored in his last 4 games. The impressive thing here from the striker's point of view, he doesn't look up once. He finds himself in the space, he knows exactly where he is. He gets a great first touch, and he doesn't look up. He knows where the goal is, he knows where the goalkeeper is. It's an absolutely, you can see here, he doesn't look up once. It's an absolutely fantastic strike just on the other side of the bar. What a brilliant goal.
Could Schmeichel have done anything about that?
No, I think I've been a bit harsh there. I think it's an exceptional strike. And it looked like he almost missed the chance, didn't he? His touch was slightly off, and looked like the chance was gone, but what a finish. Yeah, I don't think any keeper would have saved that.
Yeah, well, Bamford may have scored that one, but he was certainly selfless for the third goal, which sealed all 3 points for Marcelo Bielsa. A breakaway goal on the counter. Fast as you like, Robert.
Yeah, Stuart Downs did really well here. It was a Leicester's free kick, and he just holds it on there. He just sees a little pass, great pass there, and then Bamford's free. And this is really clever by Patrick Bamford, because as a striker, as an striker's instinct, you want to score. That would have been his 100th goal as well, if he'd have taken a shot and scored. But you can see he's aware of his surroundings. He knows exactly where Johnny Evans is. He knows exactly where the goalkeeper is. And he almost slows down here to wait. He can feel Johnny Evans on his back. Times the pass perfectly. And Jack Harrison's not going to score an easy goal all season. But that shows the team player that he is. And that shows why Marcelo Bielsa hits him week in and week out, regardless of whether he's scoring goals or not, because of his work rate and his work ethic and his team ethic as well. What he provides for the team outweighs his goal scoring ability.
Can't really fault Leicester there, can you, Hoofy? Because they're trying to search for the equaliser. They pushed everyone up. They were in a good position because they had that free kick, and ultimately they were caught out.
Yeah, I mean, Pereira, I think he makes the mind up by stepping in. I think, had he stayed in his position, he could have potentially slowed the game down, and Bamford, the pass to Bamford wouldn't have got there. But
what do you mean by
again,
that? Can you expand a bit further? What do you mean by Pereira in his positioning there if he stood his ground?
Yeah, so he was obviously in the middle of the pitch last man, and he read the pass going out to the wing, and by him stepping in, he's made the Leeds player made their mind up. And he stayed back, but would have been a lot more distance for Bamford to travel, and he could slow down. You see now once that sort of play develops now, by him stepping in now, the mind is made up, and he can pass it in. And I think it's maybe a little bit rusty of having not played for such a long time, but I think the better idea would have been just to hold the position and make sure you get help from your teammates.
Final thing here, we saw Bamford limping. It looked very heavily as well, Robert. Is that a big concern? Leeds is top scorer?
Yeah, it's a huge concern because they haven't got a like-for-like replacement. In the same way, Leicester, I think, missed Jamie Vardy. They haven't got a like-for-like replacement. And we've seen so many times at Tottenham when Harry Kane's been injured, they haven't got a like-for-like replacement. It's a specialised position. It's one position that you can't replace, with a midfielder or an attacking midfielder. If you haven't got a striker, Tottenham struggle without Harry Kane, Leicester struggle without Vardy, and Leeds will struggle without Bamford because of the way that they play. It'll be difficult if he is going to be missing for the next few weeks. But the result today is phenomenal for Leeds. I think now you look at the table, realistically they're 3 wins away from staying in the Premier League.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me here today. More things for Brendan Rodgers to fix. They've lost a few games this season, 6 and 5 of those have been at the King Power. The term home comforts does not apply to the Foxes at this stage in time. We'll catch the both of you very soon. Our next game, though, we're hoping will be as entertaining as the one we've just witnessed. It's in London. It's the London Stadium. It's West Ham taking on Liverpool. See you in a moment.
I want to buy this.
Over budget. How do we save so much? Easy. With Family Flexi Value Plan, saves up to 50%. Versus service?
Yes, subscribe to Napoli Flexi Value Plan and enjoy great savings with free delivery, quality and fresh groceries, and wide variety to choose from.
Subscribe to Napoli Flexi Value Plan.
Napoli, online grocery shopping made easy. Broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by Omlet Coffee. Tastes like just fruit. Career Advisor. Awesome courses, awesome careers. By Malaysia's e-government service provider.
West Ham riding high this season. It wasn't too long ago that the club decided David Moyes wasn't for them. He was let go by the club. Now, how time changes everything as the Scot is now enjoying a revival in his managerial career. Best summarised by the Hammers being the highest placed London team in the table currently. Victory today, in fact, will take them over Liverpool to 4th place. However, the incumbent champions Liverpool will now have restored a sense of confidence, finally getting a league victory, let alone finally scoring after a long, barren run by the extremely high standards they've set over the past couple of seasons under Jurgen Klopp. Now, just to confirm how the table currently looks, this week has been a huge one for Manchester City, who still have a game in hand over Man United and Leicester, the two teams directly below them, but there are Liverpool, there are West Ham neck and neck in the table. Could West Ham go on to 38 points? Can they go into 4th position? A Champions League spot? We'll find out in time, but we want your predictions ahead of kickoff, which is now 25 minutes away at Stadium Astros. How you find us on all the usual social media platforms. Maybe one day we'll even get on TikTok. You can contact us there as well. Maybe we'll get some of the pundits involved just for fun. Why not? Now, speaking of pundits, Sim Warnock and Bobby Zamora are here to join me to discuss the game, and it's been a while since I felt this anticipation concerning Liverpool facing West Ham. Bobby first, just because of how well the Hammers are doing this season. You must be loving it.
Yeah, I am. I'm extremely pleased. Slightly shocked as well at how well they're doing. I think on paper, looking at their team, there's no world beaters as such. No Lanzini, who is that player who can unlock doors. They've gone for hard work and organisation, and they've stuck with the same team for a majority of the season, and it seemed to pay dividends for sure.
Well, it's a strong bench. You mentioned Lanzini, he's there, and we'll take a look at the team news in just a moment, Stephen. But I'm not sure if you noticed, Liverpool have 2 goalkeepers today on the bench. 2.
Yeah, just trying to fill spaces, aren't they? They're obviously suffering from injuries. We know that from Liverpool's point of view with the injuries again in midweek against Tottenham. So things are looking quite bare, and it's obviously a worrying time for Liverpool fans. But what you've got to think of is that they still have a first 11 capable of winning the game. Then they have players who can affect the game coming off the bench as well.
All right, well, let's take a look at the team news, starting with the home side, starting with the Hammers. And there are 0 changes from the last game, which was a London derby. They beat Crystal Palace 3-2. And to be fair, with the team performing as they are, there probably isn't a reason to change things around unless necessarily, as they also have no major injury concerns either. At least nothing new. Let's get a few words in from David Moyes.
Well, David, you're playing great, but the challenge is huge. Can you see this both as a test and an opportunity?
Yeah, I think both. But I mean, you're certainly not going to put us in the category of compete with Liverpool, I hope, because you were a long way away from that. But on an off game, maybe we can do that. But over the season, for us to be Tottenham, maybe not around Liverpool, would be very difficult to do.
So what's been the key to the good form? What's underpinned what you've done so far?
Well, it's always the players. The players have been fantastic. Their attitude. You know, whether we've got a goal behind, we've tried to fight to get back. Whether we've been a goal up, we've had to hang in there. We've been able to do it. Our football's improving all the time, and I think just really the whole atmosphere around the club's much better. You know, it's easier when you're winning. It is in football. People tell you it's easy when you're in a winning situation. It becomes much easier, and that's how it feels for us.
How have they done it, Bobby? They've equalled the amount of victories they had in the entirety of last season. We're roughly the halfway stage now. They've matched it. What's changed at the club? I mean, the personnel are roughly the same. You could probably say Souček has been a huge addition to them. The manager, David Moyes, has been at the club even before that. What's it down to?
Like David Moyes just said that they've just been consistent. They've worked hard. And that winning mentality. When you win a game, Stephen will agree, when you win a game and you're in that changing room, the place is just a completely different place. You know, it's enjoyable. You enjoy your football. You look forward to the next game. When you're down there in the bottom of the table, in that dogfight, it's so hard. Every bit of luck doesn't go for you. It's just completely different. And they're in that place at the minute where they're enjoying their football and they're getting wins. And it's so easy to be ready for the next game. That's not that you're taking the game, that's not there the following day. If you're at the bottom of the table, that lingers about. It's really, really strange. I've been at both positions. And it's tough. It's tough. But they're in that place at the minute, they're enjoying their football. Everybody's fit, everyone wants to play every minute. So, you know, long may it continue as well.
Alright, let's take a look at Liverpool and their lineup today. Now, the biggest news is who isn't even in the matchday squad, which is Sadio Mane. He scored in the victory against Spurs in midweek as well. Total, there are 3 changes for the Reds. Shaqiri and Origi starting up front alongside Mo Salah, which is unusual to see. Nat Phillips also starts in the centre-back position alongside Jordan Henderson. Now, interestingly, like I mentioned again, you can see 2 goalkeepers on the bench. That is how much devastation has occurred in this squad due to injury. Let's get a few words in from Jurgen Klopp.
So
Nat Phillips and Jordan Henderson started together at centre-back, we presume, for the first time. It's the 12th different partnership in 21 Premier League games. Has that always been the toughest thing? Not just that you've lost top players like Virgil van Dijk, the players who've come in, they've never had a chance to build a partnership.
Yeah. Everybody knows that. That's really tricky as well. We played Premier League, the best league in the world, mostly because then you have in the centre of your build-up, you change constantly, and that's not good. But so honestly, we only think about it because we get asked about it. We live with that situation now since the end of the game, and so that's how it is. We cannot change that, and we just try to get to do as good as we can, to be honest. And how I said, with a lot of things we did really happy. Some things not so much, but I don't think that ever before was in a situation where three mains, three centre halves, are out for a while or we problem. So, but that's how it is.
Thanks, Centre. Yeah, Stephen, I need to talk about the centre-back partnerships because I've just covered the
Van Dijk. Well, they've lost Fabinho playing in front of Van Dijk. Fabinho was arguably one of the best holding midfielders in the Premier League and what he did. So he took so much pressure off Van Dijk and off Gomez when they were playing centre-back. So you lose that part of the spine, then you're always going to be affected. There's no doubt that Bobby will tell you, because he would do exactly the same thing. Mikel Antonio will go and play on Nat Phillips. He'll make sure that he plays on the weakest link, the most inexperienced player. You don't go and stand on Jordan Henderson because he's streetwise, he understands the game, he knows how to play. He's not going to necessarily go and stand on Trent because Trent will be higher on the pitch, but he'll go and stand on Nat Phillips and he'll probably try abundant space. He's honest, he's hard working, but if you're playing around his feet and behind, it'll be difficult for him.
Ollie, you're the striker in this conversation. You were in a situation today, if you were playing for the Hammers, and let's face it, you're physically fit enough because I follow your Instagram. Certainly get involved, and I'm sure you'll be looking to muscle your way into Nat Phillips. Literally.
I've played in games where there are centre midfield players playing centre half. I played against Michael Carrick and Stephen Fletcher, and absolutely love it. The inexperienced players that come in as well from time to time, absolutely love it. You go and stand on them, you bully them, you make them have a horrible day, you work them hard, you make them run. And that's exactly what Antonio does week to week anyway. So to these two guys, Henderson won't be looking forward to it, and Nat Phillips certainly won't. So I think Antonio will definitely be saying to the guys, listen, give me the ball, feed me the ball as much as you can, put it in behind, let me work them. Because I think today could be a very, very good day for them.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion on the Hammers. We have to talk about Souček, who's been an absolute revelation ever since he joined the Hammers. What kind of threat is he going to be offering today? That's next on Astro Supersport.
Ceria, sarapan sedap, siap sedia untuk bekerja. Putar kunci, hidup enjin, baru sedar tamat tempoh cukai jalan. Tidak lagi dengan MyEG, transaksi minta hari. Hanya login, tekan maklumat yang diperlukan, buat pembayaran dan penghantaran yang cepat akan sampai di depan rumah anda. Dengan MyEG, cukai jalan dan insurans motosikal boleh dibereskan di mana jua anda berada. Tunggu apa lagi? MyEG lah!
West Ham have done this season. Their record compared to other Premier League seasons after 20 games. First, in terms of points, wins, they've already equalled how many wins they achieved throughout the entirety of last season, something we touched on earlier. Defeats, they're doing exceptionally well. Goals scored second, and clean sheets relatively well as well. But looking at the last game, a London derby against Crystal Palace, they went a goal down early doors, Bobby. It was about the 3rd minute where Zaha scored. It looked like it could be a long day for the Hammers. But they responded after, 5-6 minutes later. Souček getting 2 goals on the night, Dawson with a 3rd. Batshuayi will get 1 in injury time. But the mentality to bounce back within 10 minutes of conceding speaks volumes.
It does, yeah. I mean, they've been, like I say, consistent this year. They've worked hard, and that goes for so much in the Premier League. It really does. For me as well, keeping a consistent team. Declan Rice, Souček, Cresswell, they've played every single minute of every game in the Premier League this season, you know, and there hasn't been too much chopping and changing, which makes a big difference. But for me, like I say, Souček has been phenomenal. And I spoke to Mark Noble this morning a little bit more about him. You know, how is he in training? Is he unbelievable? And he said, listen, you know, the second goal at Ace was a fantastic finish, great touch off his spine, and then volleying it straight in. So he's been a revelation this year, and you know, hopefully.
Almost exactly a year ago, 1st of February 2020. I think in terms of midfields in the Premier League, Stephen, only Bruno Fernandes has scored more in that period. You could probably argue that he might be, I'm not saying he is, but he might be the best player on form 6 sides.
Yeah, 100%. He's been brilliant. I think the relationship that he's struck up with Declan Rice, the balance that them two bring, formations now, and more often than not, they're a 4-3-3. So you get outnumbered in midfield, and West Ham play a 2 and Declan Rice, but the distances that they cover, the intelligence that both players have, the balance that they have between them is brilliant. And his timing of runs that he makes, but he's just such a solid player. He's a guaranteed 7 or 8 out of 10 every week, and that's what you're asking for a player. I think when you look at the David Moyes signings now, what you often think in the past was West Ham need to go out and buy a big name. They're looking for a marquee signing. David Moyes, and he's gone the other way. He's bought players that he knows he can rely on, that are going to be that solid 7 out of 10 week in, week out. And that's what you see. And I think arguably as well, Sofal on the right hand side has been equally a good a signing. He's been quite brilliant. Goes about his business quietly. Not many people talk about him much. He reminds me of Steve Finnan when I played with Steve Finnan. I know we probably played with him at Fulham as well. I'm not sure if you did, Bob, but he was just one of those players that you just knew he was reliable and you didn't have to worry about him on the pitch.
Is he Fellaini 2.0? For David Moyes? Is he?
I think he probably covers more ground than Fellaini did. You know, he gives you a slightly different more aspect to his game, but he certainly is a hard-working, box-to-box player. And like Stephen said, you know, that goes much. So for me, my worry is with West Ham keeping the same team that they have done a few weeks, and that they're sticking with it with so many games. I just wonder when it's going to catch up with them. Because you can do 2-3 games a week, maybe a month, 2 months, but a whole season is going to be very, very hard. And I do wonder about their strength in depth in say, maybe a month or 2's time. And you know, I'm hoping that everybody will stay fit. I'm hoping Souček stays fit. I'm hoping Antonio stays fit. Because West Ham are on one hell of a roll.
At least they can name a full bench unlike Liverpool with their 2 goalkeepers. I still can't quite believe it. A squad a size unlike Liverpool having to name 2 keepers. But speaking of the Reds, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. We'll discuss them and the match.